This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
My brother did this. This is like it was done, like he shot us. If he'd have killed my kids, I couldn't be more dumbfounded.
The brother of the Las Vegas shooter says he can't comprehend the magnitude of the massacre, what we know about the gunman, possible motive, and the victims. Police have no motive yet in the shooting in Las Vegas that left at least 58 people dead and more than 500 injured.
The suspect was not on any law enforcement radar. He had no record of any kind, and his brother says he didn't even have parking tickets. ABC Stephanie Ramos takes a look at what we do know about Stephen Paddock.
This is the man police say opened fire on more than 20,000 people at a country music concert on the Las Vegas Strip.
Shots fired from Mandalay Bay.
Around 10:08 local time last night, police say 64-year-old Stephen Paddock used a tool to break holes in the windows of his hotel room on the 32nd floor. From there, police say Paddock then sprayed his targets with bullets. People frantically running, trying to take cover.
We're going to get trampled if we don't go.
Police say they found an arsenal in Paddock's room, a combination of about 20 rifles and handguns locked and loaded.
This is an individual who was described as a lone wolf. I don't know how it could have been prevented.
No connection with an international terrorist group.
Eric Paddock says his brother showed no signs of distress or mental illness and had no religious or political affiliation.
If he'd have killed my kids, I couldn't be more dumbfounded.
Paddock described as an avid gambler who had a girlfriend, 62-year-old Mary Lou Danley. Her ID sitting in his hotel room. Authorities tracked her down outside of the country but say she is not considered an accomplice. Authorities say Paddock killed himself in the hotel room. Among those killed was an off-duty police officer at the concert. Today, people waiting for hours to donate blood to help the hundreds of victims who are now fighting for their lives. Here in Washington, President Trump offered somber words expressing unity, quoting Bible scriptures just 48 hours after what many felt were some of the most divisive days of his entire presidency. His staff says he plans to visit Las Vegas this Wednesday after a stop in Puerto Rico. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Well, in the midst of this tragedy, people are lining up to donate blood in Las Vegas. There have been long lines outside of the blood centers all day. Las Vegas Police Sheriff Joseph Lombardo made a public call for blood donations during a briefing this morning. He urged anyone with the ability to donate blood to do so in order to help those shooting victims.
A Suncoast Blood Bank is trying to help fill that critical blood need in Las Vegas. One Blood employees reached out to Blood Center in Vegas this morning to let them know they're ready to help if needed. One Blood is in the process of preparing a shipment of blood and platelets to be sent there as soon as possible. One Blood is encouraging anyone who is eligible to now make a donation. As a reminder, you must be 16 years old or older to donate blood and weigh at least 110 pounds. And because of the back-to-back hurricanes, many people have been donating blood more often lately. So you must wait at least 8 weeks before making another donation. However, platelet donors may give every 7 days. So you can help. Please do so.
Certainly, and redcross.org is also a good organization to look for any of those blood banks, whether you're here on the Suncoast or anywhere throughout the country as well.
Awesome. All right, let's get another check on our weather right now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Well, a fairly nice day today. We had partly cloudy skies throughout much of it. A few showers around. The heavier rainfall staying to our south throughout this day today. You can see some lightning down there offshore of the Everglades north of Key West, and a few light rain showers still lingering over Highlands County, also in the Hardee and DeSoto counties at this hour. All kind of pushing off to the west right now near Arcadia. Some very light rain at this point. Temperatures currently into the low to mid 80s, 83 in Arcadia right now, Wauchula at 84, Braden at 85 degrees. The Gulf water temperature now at 86, Venice at 84, and Inglewood at 82 degrees. Current conditions at the Sarasota-Braden Airport, we have a few clouds and 85. The dew point temperature at 70. We have an east wind fairly strong at 18 miles an hour, and those winds will stay out of the east, it looks like, through the next couple of days. We have gusts as high as 20 to 25. It's all a result of a high pressure ridge continuing to build into the north and a tropical disturbance near the Yucatan that we are monitoring. Some fairly reliable models, again, suggesting that we will see something come out of here and move toward Florida by later this week. We'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. Now to the growing humanitarian disaster in Puerto Rico. Nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Maria devastated the island, many there are still struggling without power, clean water, and fuel. President Trump will head there tomorrow, but as ABC's Aaron Katarski tells us, the White House is taking heat from critics who say its response has been too slow.
A lone pump chugs against a stubborn, swollen lake that even nearly 2 weeks after the storm will not recede. 80 homes in the town of Florida, an hour southwest of San Juan, are submerged, and no one is sure whether there are bodies in this murky water.
We're doing disaster survivor assistance right now. That's like the main mission. That's like boots on the ground running.
FEMA is trying to figure out how to unclog the drains. Just one problem on this battered island. In San Juan, where gas station lines stretch for blocks, police escort fuel trucks. But even the capital, where recovery operations are headquartered, is still in crisis.
We have no food, we have no water.
Outside San Juan, there are fears about remote areas still waiting to be reached. This is the first phone call the mayor of Florida has made in days on a satellite phone delivered by FEMA.
Just that I was able to say goodbye to the mayor and I'll call you tomorrow. That's a victory.
FEMA said it has now reached every municipality, but the authorities still have not reached all the people.
We are not satisfied with what we've been able to do so far. These people deserve more help, and we're going to bring it.
With things here still so dire, few have paid attention to the rift between President Trump and the mayor of San Juan. They're thinking instead of their very survival. Aaron Katarski, ABC News, San Juan.
And Governor Rick Scott is taking several steps to help Puerto Rican families who are displaced because of the hurricane. Scott is declaring a state of emergency in all 67 Florida counties to provide important resources to the families who are impacted. The governor is also opening disaster relief centers tomorrow. Those centers will be open at Orlando International Airport, Miami International, and the Port of Miami. Scott says those who leave Puerto Rico and come to Florida will have access to any state resources they may need. Also, at the governor's request, nearly 40 state colleges and universities are waiving out-of-state tuition and fees for students from Puerto Rico who are displaced by the storm. Fine dining during Hurricane Irma. Sarasota County Emergency Management paid big bucks to feed its staff during the storm.
The county is spending $130,000 for those meals, but Manatee County paid less than 10% of that amount. ABC7's Erica Jackson joins us live from the Operations Center to explain how the staff racked up its food costs and where that money's coming from. Erica?
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. Sarasota County was expecting the worst and planning on feeding its staff for much longer than 4 days. But emergency management officials say they got off easy, but still ended up spending more than $100 grand.
Ice was the main thing and no power because it got awfully hot.
It was a long 8 days for Mary Cooper after Hurricane Irma hit Florida. She was living without power, limited ice, and consuming all non-perishable food.
I had some canned food, and I had peanut butter, tuna fish.
And meanwhile, just 6 miles away, hundreds of staff members at Sarasota County's Emergency Operations Center were enjoying a meal from Madison's Catering, valued at $26 per person.
It's really about making sure that we can provide service, take care of our first responders who are taking care of our citizens so that we have a seamless response.
Emergency Services Director Rich Collins says the county created a disaster preparedness plan back in 2015, which included a contract for emergency feeding. The county broke its contract with the vendor in June, but needed prepared food for Hurricane Irma. The former vendor was responding to Hurricane Harvey and recommended Madison's to feed up to 500 people per day, totaling at $130,000. Collins says the county can get that money from FEMA since President Trump declared a state of emergency.
The funds for this come from what's called Category B, and that is reimbursable to 100% for 30 days. So we will be seeking reimbursement for that cost.
But Manatee County only spent $9,000 for its food services provided by the Salvation Army. Emergency Operations Chief Sherilyn Burris says FEMA will only reimburse, quote, reasonable and necessary expenses, and the county would become responsible for anything not covered by the feds. Still, Collins says Sarasota County's agreement with Madison's is nothing out of the ordinary.
And it's consistent with where our contract was last August that we brought to the board.
So now it's up to FEMA to reimburse both Sarasota and Manatee counties, and FEMA has the option to deny both of those requests. And Sarasota County Emergency Management is getting ready to prepare its after-action report in the upcoming months so it can figure out ways to improve its 120-hour plan, shelter plans, and for its feeding program. Reporting live in Sarasota County, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Erica. The Sarasota County School District also forking over hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay for a public relations firm. The school district recently hired a Sarasota-based company called 360 for communications services. The firm will earn $225,000 for the first 2 years. Now, that contract went into effect on September 19th, and the team is led by Candace McCallia, who specializes in strategic communications. According to the contract, the firm will complement the school district's communications department.
Tomorrow night, the Sarasota County School Board is expected to make a big decision about an upcoming special election. Board members will vote on whether to approve March 20th, 2018 as the date for a special election. Voters will decide whether to approve and extend an ad valorem tax millage of $1 mil per year for 4 years to benefit the school district. According to school district officials, voters have approved this referendum every 4 years since 2002. More than 75% of voters approved the last continuation of that millage back in 2014. Time is running out to register to vote in an upcoming election in Sarasota County. Next Monday, October 9th, is the last day you can register to be eligible to vote in the City of Venice general election, which will be held November 7th. You can register to vote or update your voter registration online at registertovoteflorida.gov. City residents will be making decisions about City Council choosing council members for both Seat 1 and Seat 2. Still to come in your Suncoast News, it may be time to plan that fall getaway.
After the spike during the back-to-back hurricanes, gas prices are falling once again. How much more they'll drop this week, coming up next.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A somber moment in our nation's capital. President Donald Trump, First Lady Melania Trump holding a moment of silence for Las Vegas shooting victims on the White House South Lawn this afternoon. A moment of silence began with the ring of a bell. The group then bowed their heads and walked back inside the White House.
Well, Americans spent over $10 billion on antibiotics in 2009, but we don't always need them. Overuse of antibiotics can lead to resistance, which is a deadly and growing problem. Kim Hutcherson explains.
Antibiotic resistance is the ability of a given bacteria to fight off the effects of an antimicrobial drug. Instead of being killed off, the bacteria survives and continues to multiply. Antibiotic resistance means that illnesses that were once easy to treat could become dangerous infections. They can require more doctor's visits or a more expensive or more toxic kind of medicine. Sometimes drug-resistant infections can lead to death. The CDC says overprescription and misuse of antibiotics are the main culprits. So take antibiotics only when they're needed. Never pressure your doctor to prescribe them. Colds, the flu, most sore throats, most chest colds, and many sinus and ear infections are not caused by bacteria, so antibiotics will have no impact on them. Don't save antibiotics for use at a later date. If you're concerned about antibiotic resistance, talk to your healthcare provider. They can tell you whether you can get relief from your symptoms without using antibiotics. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Lakewood Ranch webcam showing a cloudy day at times, becoming partly cloudy after that at times. And looks as though we will see the clouds on again and off again tomorrow. As a result of a high pressure ridge to the north and low to the south, we have windy weather. And the area that you see here colored right along the coastline through the Keys all the way along the East Coast. Small craft advisory in effect and will be in effect through all of this week. A few showers down to our south right now. A little bit of light rain into the interior counties. Not much going on. There are some flood warnings to the north of us as a result of the heavy rainfall over the weekend along the East Coast. But really what we're watching is a system down to our south. The one that moved through over the weekend really hit the East Coast much harder than us here, although we did get some rainfall. Not nearly as much as, say, the Cape Canaveral area did, up to 6 inches of rain. Well, this is a favorite area in October that we watch for tropical weather to develop. And right now, indications are that we may see something pop up. Some reliable models, the European and the GFS, both indicating that we will see something develop over the next 3 or 4 days and then move up into the Gulf on Saturday and Sunday, bringing with it a good chance of rain. 85 right now, the heat index, not a big factor. At 89, the numbers have not come in from the National Weather Service as of yet for the high and low. 1/100th of an inch of rainfall so far for the month of October. Not much, and we will see a few scattered showers tomorrow. The rain chance at 40% for a few late day showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. Well, elsewhere in the tropics, all is fairly quiet. The two storms, Lee and Maria, are heading out, and a fairly significant tropical wave heading off to the west right now. But conditions are not all that favorable for development, and we have this little line right you see right here, a little trough of low pressure also just to the north of us. And as far as the futurecast goes, this is the in-house model and show you what's going to be happening, at least this model indicating that we will see something pop out of here. But notice this one takes it a little bit further off to the east, over the eastern tip of Cuba, through the Bahamas, and then off north, while the other models I mentioned, the GFS and the European, show something popping up here, and you'll see it moving off to the north and northeast with some heavy rainfall in there. Not much. It doesn't appear that the European is developing this into too significant of a storm. However, it is a very reliable model this year in particular, and it is showing something popping up. This is the GFS, the United States model, again showing an activity, or at least a storm center coming off into the Gulf and bringing us the dirty side with some heavy rainfall. So regardless if it develops or not, it does appear that we'll have a fairly significant wet weekend. Temperatures starting to plummet over the northern Rockies, and much warmer though in the central U.S. Dallas now at 93, St. Louis at 85 degrees. Well, for boaters, I mentioned the small craft advisory is in effect and will stay with us through this week. A moderate chop out there. The water temperature now at 86 degrees. The UV index will be an 8. High tide upcoming Sarasota Bay, 11:54. Sunset at 7:15. Isolated showers, mainly inland, a 74 for a low. Will be breezy. Tomorrow, windy weather continues, 15 to 20 out of the northeast. You'll notice that. Partly cloudy, a 40% chance for showers tomorrow afternoon. And the extended forecast, a little drier on Wednesday and Thursday. Some dry air moves in, and then the rain starts to develop and moves in on Friday and continues through Columbus Day. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Right now, there are no accidents to report, and traffic is moving smoothly on I-75 in both the north and southbound lanes.
And Florida drivers are likely going to continue to see prices drop at gas stations because of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma. Gas prices peaked at about $2.73 back on September 14th. Since then, though, they've been steadily going down. In fact, prices have declined for the past 17 days for a total of 11 cents. Yesterday, gas prices in Florida averaged around $2.62 a gallon, and AAA says drivers can expect another 5 to 10 cent drop this week as well. So maybe if you can hold off for a few more days, you'll pay less.
Yeah, I think we're all happy to hear that those gas prices are dropping.
Entertainment news coming up next. Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Watch Your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
We'll stay with ABC7 News at 6 and 7 o'clock tonight for continuing coverage of the mass shooting out of Las Vegas.
Here's what we know right now. Police are warning that identifying the bodies from the shooting will be a long, laborious process. A gunman opened fire from the Mandalay Bay Hotel into a crowd of thousands of people who were attending a country music concert last night. At least 58 people were killed, hundreds of people, more than 500 who were wounded, were taken to 5 southern Nevada hospitals. Again, we will have the very latest coming up at 6, 7, and 11 o'clock this evening. We'll be right back. Stay with us.